am your host tonight, Chanel. We're going
And
to
I'm your
restart this show.
co-host, Kia
Kia.
Nicole.
And I am sipping on strawberry Sutter Homes.
I'm sipping on tropical mango Stella Rosa.
Perfect. So tonight, y'all, we're going to be talking about challenges and friendships. That's kind of the topic of tonight. So the first question that was asked is type, what do people most often misunderstand about you and why?
For me, I don't really associate with a lot of people, so I feel like people only see what I post or what I show, what I allow for them to see. I don't really show the bad, I only show the good. So for outsiders looking in, like if they look on my page or if they follow me on any of my social medias or on YouTube, they may think, okay, she lives a lit life. She may go ghost for a minute on Instagram. And then I pop out on a trip, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And things like that may have people confused, like, okay, like they're living good, but they don't
Right.
see the challenges behind closed doors, the weak moments. Like for instance, I just lost my mom last month,
Right.
and I'm here, faithfully every week presenting, this podcast with my best friend right here. So, they don't see, the weak moments I have behind closed doors. So it just seems like, I'm the strong friend or I'm the strong person. I've kind of always been the strong person my whole life. But, that's just the things that they don't see that I don't want people to know. And I feel like a lot of us are like that. We're only going to show the good. Nobody's going to be like, hey, my car having problems. I don't have the money right now. Or, rent coming up. Money looking funny. No one's gonna post those things, So I feel like people are only gonna see what I allow them, so it could misconstrue who I really am or the things I go through. That's it.
I got you. Because sometimes you don't, basically, you don't post your weak moments so people could use that against you in a sense. I
Mm-hmm.
got you, sis. So a lot of times what people understand about me is that I can be very nice. And sometimes, like, when you're nice, like, overly nice to people is taken, like, as a weakness in a sense. And that's never the case. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there's a limit. Like you have to be polite and nice to people. You never know what opportunities could come up. You never know. God put that person in your life for a reason, and now you're right on the path that you need to be. So it doesn't make sense to walk around with your face all screwed up and then a little attitude. There's no reason for
Mm-hmm.
that. So I feel like sometimes you're just friendly to an extent, like it's not being over friendly, but you present yourself as welcoming to everyone. So
That
sometimes I feel
you
like
are.
when you are welcoming to a lot of people, they kind of like take that as a weakness. And it's like, no, I know my limits, I know my boundaries, but I also don't want to pass on an opportunity that might come my way. So that's
Right.
something for me that people often understand, like, oh, you're too friendly, or oh, you're too nice. And I'm like, I'm nice until, I'm very friendly until. Like there is a very healthy boundary for me, but you don't want to miss opportunities. And opportunities sometimes come up once. And also too, like the first time sometimes speak a lot more volumes than you meeting a person the second time. You don't really
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of do-overs in life. It's like your first time, you lose an opportunity, well, you just lost that opportunity.
Right.
So you want to present yourself and set yourself up for success instead of failure. So I think sometimes that's often misunderstood about me. And then something else is I could be quiet, like when I'm
Oh
when
yeah, that
I'm
was a
going
big one growing up. Probably
right.
still. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big
Another
one.
thing too with me that can be misunderstood sometimes or misconstrued is sometimes when I'm quiet, it's like, okay, like when I'm quiet, I process things differently. Like I may take my time. I might ghost, sometimes I might just, when I'm going through stuff, baby, I'm gonna deal with what I gotta deal with
Right.
first. You deal with that stuff behind closed doors. So I think sometimes you get that impression like, oh, you're ignoring me or you're this, and it's like, I'm fighting my own problems over here. I'm dealing with what I gotta deal with first until it's okay for me to come forward, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I don't like to, if I'm going through something, I don't like to stress the next person out about it because I don't know what they're going through
Same.
either. So, I'm like, we're very much similar in
Yeah.
the same. We'll be like, all right, sis, you good? We'll be like, yeah, we good. And we both stressed out, but we just don't
Stress
communicate
the
that too.
heck
We'll be
out.
like, you good? Right. You good? You
Oh, we're
good? You
encouraging
stressed?
each other. Meanwhile, we
Right.
we got so much going on that we're not
Right.
talking about, but we uplifting each other, which I think is good qualities to have too. But that definitely that goes back to being like the strong friend or the strong family member, whoever you are. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you do need to just take that moment for yourself, take a moment to step away. Yeah, sometimes you're silent, you're not ignoring people, but it can come off as that when you're not communicating and saying, hey, because sometimes I don't know about you, for me, but if you say to someone, hey, I'll text you later, or hey, I'll hit you back, and it's like you may take a day or two, and it seems like, oh, well, she just ignored me, and it's like, no, I just needed you to understand and do my space. But sometimes you do present that, and then the person wants to ask what's wrong, and it's like, don't ask them what's wrong at the moment. Like, that's why I'm stepping away. You don't want that person to impede. It's just not right at that moment that you want to talk about it. So sometimes that can be, a little bit, misunderstood. So I guess it just all comes down to communicating and just letting it be known, like, I'm gonna go on my shelf for a little bit, but I'm gonna come out and talk to you once I'm good.
Right.
So that can be easily misunderstood when you're silent. Okay, so we're gonna hop right into the next question. The next question is, what is the biggest challenge you faced in your life? That could be role, it could be a business, just any project that you have currently right now, and how are you actually tackling it? How are you handling it?
By the way, guys, feel free to chime in and answer these questions as well. It's not just for me.
As we're coming in and out, we are very much, we love to interact over here. So anything you want to say in the comments, we'll interact with you. But yeah, I can go ahead and answer that. So what is the biggest challenge that you faced, me particular, and it could be any role, it could be business projects, just in things, just in life in general. I guess I could speak on for life. For life, I would say like time management. Oh, baby Jesus. When I tell you, I have been working on time management since college. And it is dragging me, what you say, so it's turning me everywhere but loose, okay? So it's dragging me here, there, and everywhere. When it comes to time management, it's like I got to do better with time management. That is something for me that I feel like is a big challenge for me. Like, I know I have a deadline for something, and it's like if it's really, really important, I'm going to get to that deadline. I'm going to make the time for it. But there's times that I have so much going on that I forget, like, something that is important. I may make a mental note, and I find myself forgetting about it because, again, there's so much going on around you. So you're like, oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that. Oh, I got to do that. And then you forget that there's this one thing you got to do as well. So I feel like a lot of times for me, it's like even with me being organized, with me writing it down, do my typical to-do list because I'm a to-do list girly. Even with me doing that sometimes, I still somehow may miss an appointment or may show up a little late to an appointment, may show up a little late to a meeting. Like, it's not intentional, but in the back of my mind, it's like I'm prioritizing, like, okay, this is first, and then I'm forgetting that whatever else I need to do too is also first. So I guess for me, it's just kind of like sitting down and prioritizing maybe by day or by time instead of just putting on a to-do list. Maybe be more intentional and more specific and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this by this time. For me, I'll say, oh, I'm going to do this by this date, and then I'll give myself a time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
being more specific.
Right. Then here comes tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, I was supposed to, all right, then here comes tomorrow. And then, so maybe if I'm more intentional and say, okay, by the end of night tonight, you need to at least get half of this done by this time, I'm holding myself more accountable. So I think for me right now, my biggest, I guess, challenge you could say is time management. And that's just with anything, like, being punctual for work, being punctual, for content, whatever the case is, just you can always improve on that. Like, I do pretty good, but you can always improve on that. So for me, yeah. How do I handle it?
Hey,
like
Anna.
I stated, hi Anna, thank you for coming in. Also Tiffany, thank you for coming in. Thank you for everyone that's coming in and out. We do appreciate you. Haley, we see you guys. So thank y'all for coming in. We very much appreciate you guys for stopping by as well. But how do you handle your biggest challenge? Again, my biggest challenge is time management, just kind of getting things done ahead of time. And I think for what I kind of do is like play mind games with myself. Like if I know I got to get somewhere by 6, I tell myself to get ready by 5, because then technically I'll be ready for 6. Like I got to kind of deal with myself.
I do that
like
too.
like that, right? Because if I tell myself 6, I'm not getting ready till 7. So I have to use, reverse psychology on my own self and say, okay, we got to get to this event by 6. Great, let's start. Make sure I'm ready by 5, so I'm there for 6.
But so then you know what happens too. Okay, sometimes this happens to me. Let me know if this happens to you. So I'm getting ready. I'm ready early. Then I got all this excess time, and I'm like, okay, I can chill a little bit. The next thing you know, I'm late. And I'm like,
yep.
That
happens to me all the time. That happens to me all the time. And that happened to me the other day. I was early, like a whole 30 minutes early. And still showed up to the event 30 minutes late. And I'm like, so what was the point? Like, I don't know, but I was like early.
We need to start leaving as soon as we're dressed. Leaving. Don't be like, okay, I got extra time. No, you don't. Like,
you don't. You overestimate. You're like, oh, I got time to get there, and then you're leaving at the time you should be at the event.
Yep. It happens quite frequently for me too. I was like, what the heck?
No, it's not just you, sis. It's me as well. Being punctual is, we have to stick to that now, especially, in our late 20s and stuff, because, baby,
We
like I
got to
said,
get it together.
you
Because
don't want
also, too,
to
like,
opportunities.
especially when you have to show up for other people, they can take that as being rude, when you're
Right,
showing up late to something that they
right,
invite you to, or like a special moment for them or event. Like, that's real. Like, I get, in our personal lives, there's certain things like, okay, we late, whatever. But, like, you don't want to disrespect people's times,
right.
So
And
we
right
definitely got to get
now,
it together.
as you get older too, like, time is money. So you do have to value
Mm-hmm.
people's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to, like you said, okay, you know what? I'm going to get to an event. No, no, no. You have to be punctual. You have to, like, those things I'm good at. But in my personal life, when I know it's like, okay, nobody's depending on me to get to this on time, then I'm a little bit more lackadaisical. But when it's, okay, we're going to have to get here, I'm going to have to get, like, at your job, you can't show up to your job every day and be like, well,
Exactly. We be too
I,
punctual for these people's
right,
jobs, but then we don't show up for
right.
ourselves enough in that same
Right.
manner.
So we
And
have
so,
to
yeah.
be consistent all the way through. That's something you can always work on. You can always, work on improving yourself. So that's it for
Yeah.
me. Go ahead. What's your
It's
biggest challenge?
crazy. We have the same answer. I was
Oh,
just letting you
really?
talk. I didn't want to cut you off. No, yeah. Welcome everyone joining in. So right now we are answering what's the biggest challenge that you're facing in life. It could be on your job or in your personal life, whatever it is you have going on. Chanel said time management is like the biggest challenge that she's facing. And it's crazy because that's mine as well.
That's yours too?
Yep. So just finding the time to accomplish everything that I need to. I just feel like there's not enough hours in the day. Like before I know I blink, it's nighttime. And I'm like, good night, Sheena. I hope
Hi,
I
Sheena.
pronounced your
Thanks for
name
coming in.
right. But yeah, I just felt there's just not enough hours in the day. So before I know it, I did not accomplish everything I needed to. And then especially like with us being content creators, like just being consistent and also keeping ourselves on like a schedule, because being a content creator, you kind of create your own little schedule, like when posts go out and when stuff is created. You don't really have a boss to tell you, all right, this needs to be out by this time.
All
You
right.
are responsible for that. And so having all that responsibility tackle with other things that you have going on, sometimes stuff get by the wayside, and then before you know it, it's like whoop, well, you know. So just being consistent and just knowing how to fit everything in the 24 hours that we're given, the 7 days out of the week we're given, the 4 to 5 weeks out of the month we're given, the 365 days out of the year we're given. It's just the year to me is kind of almost gone. It's halfway there, and I'm just like, it's a blur.
Right.
It's a blur. I mean, there are
Right.
certain moments obviously that are highlighted, like our trips and stuff, and my mom's passing. But other than that, everything else is a blur. I don't know. So yeah, that's my time
Yeah.
management. So.
So time management is a big one. Um, I guess well, I don't know, because organization kind of go hand in
Hand
hand
in
too with time
hand with
management.
that, yes, organizing your
You know,
time.
organizing your time, like, be more intentional. Like I say, even if you have a deadline, maybe have a deadline and a time. It's more like accurate than just having a time, because sometimes you just freely say, oh, I get it done by this weekend, and here comes next weekend, because you never really set a time on the weekend when you never really chose a day. You weren't as intentional,
Yeah,
so therefore you're not going to get
specific
what you need
goals.
to
We have
get
to
done.
be
Right,
specific with our
right.
goals. And then
And
says
Anna
time
said,
management is a high level one for me too. Yeah,
yep, being
continue.
punctual. That speaks so much more volumes too when you're walking in a room of people that are very much punctual. You being on time says a lot about your character. Like I said, it goes
Mhm.
back to opportunities that you allow yourself to encounter. So, baby, you walk in that room like, oof, that done happened to me today. And boy, I have not been like, when I show up to events, sometimes if I know they're gonna be late or I'm on CP time, that's cool. But if I'm showing up to
Right.
something that I know is punctual and I'm the only one late, I'm just like, oh
It's
my God, I'm so
so
embarrassed. Like,
embarrassing, right? You
it
feel
is
so
so embarrassing
bad.
because all eyes are on you,
Yeah.
and it's like we all had the same time. We all knew we had to get here, and it's like, things do happen. Time again, time management, just time management. Okay, so we're gonna hop into the next question. The next question kind of touch on friendship. Okay, so what is, how they typically have like love languages? So I kind of
Mhm.
flipped the question. The question is, what is your friendship language? So for example, it could deal with like words of affirmation from your friend, maybe gifts of act of service. It could be quality time, a person adding value in your life, maybe, hanging out on the weekends or meeting up, kind of just
Mhm.
praying together. Like, what would you consider to be a friendship language for you?
I think I have 3. So words of affirmation for sure. I feel like, especially for us, like complimenting each other on their pictures, encouraging each other through text, sending each other like reels, or I don't do TikTok, but you got TikTok, but I have other friends who are on TikTok, but like sending TikToks or reels to each other, like inspirational things, that all kind of tied into words of affirmation for me. I feel like a lot of times, some friendships, they literally communicate through that. Like just sending each
Right.
other uplifting things. They may not even say too many words. We obviously talk for real, but that's like number one for me, I think, because we all need uplifting. So it's a two-way street. Like I send it out, you send it out. So that adding value, which goes back to the first one, words of affirmation, just adding some type of value in my life, like whether you're uplifting me, whether you're putting me on to resources, or encouraging, however you're adding value, just adding value. We on the same level, or if you're above me, great, but you're not beneath, and trying to pull me down with you. So as long as you're adding value, that's a good friendship love language. And then the last one is quality time, only because we're adults, so I get life. So at one point in time, quality time would have been high up there. But whenever we see each other, and it just be a time. So that's on there, but it's not at the highest because we're adults and we have things going on. So I don't stress if like my friend and I can't get together all the time. But yeah, for sure, quality time when we can. What about you?
Okay. Read what Anna said if you could see it. I don't know.
What's up? You can't see?
We're gonna talk about my eyes.
I'm
My
just
eyes
messing with you. I know you can't see. And it says quality time and acts of service. Yes, okay. I also agree with Q on the words of affirmation. I love to treat and give gifts to aid in my friendships. Love that. Gifts can be encouraging and healthy. Agree.
Yeah.
And I agree with the acts of service as well. Mm-hmm.
So for me, like I listed a few examples, I would say one, quality time is important. And, even when you have a friendship that is not close by, or you have a friendship that is long distance, I feel like, communicating on the phone, sending a voice memo, texting, like that is quality time, because the person is taking some kind of time out of their day
Mm-hmm.
to, give some type of attention to you. Maybe they can't do it all the time or whatever. You guys develop a system that just works for you. Every friendship is different. Every friendship is built on like different foundation. Like for example, I'll give you an example from me and Kia. Like if we're going through something, boy, when I tell you ghosting is a thing, we will literally just like fall off the face of the earth. Like we won't say nothing to each other.
Not for too long. That's much
Not
for
for
you.
not
I
for too
don't go for
long, but
too
it's
long.
just like that's just like we understand that. Now other friends, probably would take that insulting, because they would expect you to say, hey, I need a little break. Hey, for me and her, it's just like, well, I ain't talked to you in 12 hours. We may check in. Hey, you all right? You good over there? You good? All right, great. As long as you good, we're good. But
Right. We don't probe each other too much about what it is we're going through.
right.
It's like
We
if we
just
feel, we wait for the person to open up if they want to, and if they don't,
right.
that's cool. Yeah.
So we just have that mutual understanding that it's like if I go ghost, it's just like we're checking. Hey, you good over there? You good? As long as the person said they do,
Yeah.
all right, we cool. But it's not no. Wait a minute. It's not like it's not a bother to us. But again, friendships are built different. It's just something that we just naturally understand about each other. Okay, so like that's just an example for me. Now I can't do that with every friend I have. Some friends I have to explain like, hey, I hit you back when I'm able, or because they may take it at different. Like you just the people that you're around and what made you guys become friends and what relationships you've built. So I feel like you're able to feed off the person's energy. Like if they don't talk to you for a week and you come back, I'm gonna hit you with a hey, what's up? I'm not gonna be like, oh, we ain't. I'm not gonna do that, because I understand how our friendship is. But as long as I can understand and you just communicate to me, I'm cool with whatever. Just
Right.
communicate. So. I would say a lot of times, like making quality time for your friendships. Like you do say we are adults, we do have children, we do have spouses, we do have things that prevent us from giving 100% of our time into friendship. But you can't take that personal. You got a lot going on. The person got a lot going on. A lot of times, as friends, no matter how close you are with your friends, you don't open up about everything. You keep certain things to
Right.
yourself. So it's like sometimes the best way goes back to what I'm saying. You kind of just take that time and that space for yourself. They may not know what you're going through, but you're handling what you need to in hand at that moment. So, you know, it goes back to being kind. It goes back to being nice. You just don't know what the next person's going through. So, you know, you don't always be cautious of like dumping your stress and your stressors on them. Just be cautious of those things. So I would say having quality time is just, again, you don't have to link up every weekend. You don't got to go on trips every time, but making some type of time throughout the
Right.
year
Some type
just
of
go
time.
connect with a friend. So I would say quality time. Also, value is a big one. It goes back to you pour in my cup, I pour in yours. As long as I feel like I have people around me that is striving to do something and is trying to better their life, then you're gonna hold their hand on that way. But it's just like if you just, well, I'm gonna just sit here, I'm not doing nothing. You just, keep talking about it. Years go by, and I don't see the effort you're putting on. Then maybe that's just not the friendship for me because I don't want to be dragged behind being considerate of your
Uh-huh.
feelings. And most times when you're trying to drag people along, they end up dragging you behind. It's easier to drag someone back than it is to, push someone along because you either got it in you or you don't. So I feel like sometimes when it comes to value, maybe, saying, hey, I'm praying for you. You ain't got to ask what's going on, but just extending a hand to somebody and say, hey, I'm praying for you. Whatever it is, I'm just praying for you. It may send in like a little Bible verse, a little affirmation, something that I guess it kind of ties into acts of service, just something that you can use to pour into someone else. Because at the end of the day, they always say what you do to someone else, make sure it's what you want being done to you. So if you pour into somebody's cup, you're not going to have your cup out there holding it, but you like for someone else to, pour a little back in your cup and you keep it going. You grow and excel together. So that's my little thoughts when it comes to,
Friendship, love
friendships and,
language.
love languages for friendships. So with that, y'all, it has been a little heavy tonight talking about friendships and talking about some, tackling responsibilities and, going back to those things. So, those are things that you have to have on an everyday, with your friends, your family, just kind of knowing where you stand with people too. So we're gonna lighten the load. We're gonna head over into our questions. We have a little fun this or that portion, a few little questions. So for jewelry, silver or gold, this or that, silver or gold.
That's hard. I guess if I have to choose, I'll say gold. But obviously, depending on the outfit, it may call for one over the other.
I
Gold.
don't know. I
Overall
say
gold.
gold too, but I feel like as I tend to mature a little bit more, I kind of like silver too. But gold always take the cake for me. Or if not, I can't have my cake and eat it. I try to get gold and silver just so it makes
Oh
sense to
yeah,
me.
I always when I shop for like accessories and stuff, I'm always doing a set of silver accessories, a set of gold
Right,
accessories.
right.
I
Just so
never
you
just
have
do
something,
one.
like you said,
Yeah.
depending on the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. The next one is your preference, sunset or sunrise. It's sunset for me.
Sunset. Yeah, sunset. I'm sorry, I had to think. It's been a long night. I had to think what is a sunset and what is a sunrise. Don't judge me.
Right, right.
I
I
had to
agree.
think.
Gold pairs beautiful with minimal colors. I think so too. I feel like when you're wearing silver jewelry though, I don't know what it is, but like darker colors, it makes it pop a little bit more. Like if you're wearing a black and you're wearing silver, it tends to bring it out a little bit more. When you're wearing
I mean,
gold,
black could go with either one,
it can.
but
It
they
can go with
say
either or,
gold.
but I just feel like it pops with silver a little bit more, and more colors tend to pop with gold. That's just my opinion.
I feel like they say gold is better on our skin.
Right.
Yeah, us.
More a little bit
That's what they
melanated.
say. Yeah, that's what they say. But I
You
like
like
them
your
both. Like
morning?
I said, depending on the outfit. Yeah. But I do agree too. Like colors, gold go good with colors.
It
Yeah,
does.
with certain
And then
colors. Yeah.
Anna stated sunrise. Okay, Anna, morning. I'm a morning person. Don't get me wrong, but baby, if I could sit out at the beach and watch the sun do its thing, I love the colors that it change. I like to see the sun go down because I'm just like, look at God showing out. I'm just like he doing his big one.
I don't
So
know if I've ever
I like the
actually just
sunset.
watched the
I do.
sunrise or
People
set.
go to the beach all the time. The beach I go to, they sit out there with their chairs. They'll pull up right before the sunset, sit out there. And when it's done, they're clapping and everything. Like it's a whole thing. So yeah, watching the
Clapping is
sunset is a whole,
crazy.
yeah. They're out there cheering,
Performance time.
clapping, doing it. It's a whole thing. I
Okay.
like it. You love your morning I like mornings, but I'm a more sunset. It's more calm and
I'm
relaxing.
a
Like
morning person by force. I won't say I like mornings. I will
right.
say the earlier you get your day started, the more you get
The better.
accomplished. So yeah.
I find myself when it comes to morning, if I am up by 6 or 7 a.m., I am actually more successful in my day than when I get up at
Mm-hmm.
9 or 10. It's the weirdest thing. It's like I get up
It
and I'm
ain't
full of
weird. It's
energy.
scientifically
It is a
proven.
thing. Okay, I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
to each his
for real. Like if
own,
you
but
ain't, isn't that right, Anna?
I mean, I don't know. When I get up 6 and 7 a.m., boy, I sure could get a lot of
Why
work
did the
done.
5 a.m. girlies be like, listen, they be thriving. They get up at 5,
You're
they
right. They
work
go to
out,
the
they start their morning
gym.
routine. They get so
Right.
much
You're
accomplished.
right.
And and a lot of, before I became a morning person, I be in bed sleep. Meanwhile, they done did like 8 hours worth of work while they
Right.
sleep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anna said, I hate mornings, but I get up on Sunday for the beach meditation just to see the
Just to see the
sunrise. See,
sunrise.
you get up
That
for the
sounds
sunrise.
pretty
I get up
though.
for the sunset, baby.
That sounds pretty. You must live
I like.
close to the beach. So
I like the
the
sunset.
beach
The
is fun.
colors are beautiful. So the next question we have is country or city? I'm gonna say
City.
city. I'm gonna
City.
say
I
city.
can't
Now,
I can't do
city
the
for me.
country life.
A city for me. I would do country if I'm in like Georgia. Then that would be different. Like I could just look at them little cows, them little horses. I won't clean them, but I look at them. You know, the little cattle and stuff. That'd be cute. They be out there. You have a nice big old, picket fence and all. That's cool. That I could do, but nowhere else. City for me. Other than that,
Yeah, I need civilization. Not that the country's a civilization,
civilization is
but I
crazy.
need some civilization. I need to see some shopping centers here. There's some banks, I need to see some buildings. And my skin too sensitive to be around all that nature. I
Yeah,
know.
but you
It's crazy.
do know when you're in the city, it's a little bit more
I know.
populated,
It's
so you have
dirty and stuff.
right. You have more chance of being sick and all that.
I know.
Anna
The,
said
con- the country.
the country. You
Girl.
like, I know that's right. You like both,
Don't
Anna.
play. It's
Anna,
just
right? When Anna can't choose, merge them together, child. That's fine. Both is okay. All right. The next one: love or happiness?
What is
Not both.
love?
Not both. Got to
Love and
do with the.
happiness.
Oh, I thought you was singing too. The what love got to do with it, child? Is what I thought you were
No.
singing.
Love and happiness. That's what I'm saying. Ain't that Teddy Pendergrass? I
So,
think. Or
love
is that Al
or
Green? Al Green or Teddy Pendergrass? I'm
love
confused now.
or
Not me don't know my
happiness?
music. Happiness, I'm gonna say.
I would say that too. I'd rather be at home happy than without
What
happiness.
is love if I'm not happy?
Right, and with happiness, you also have peace
Al
as
Green,
well.
okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, hold up, I don't think that's Teddy Pendergrass. I knew it was one of them. Yeah,
Happiness.
happiness for sure.
And the last question to sum up tonight: red wine or white wine? Because it's funny that I'm drinking Mighty Fine. I'm drinking red, and Mighty
And I
Fine
was
funny you
drinking
drinking
white.
white. That is hilarious.
I do both. I really cannot choose.
No. It's not.
The red
Not
has
both.
to be really, really sweet. If not white. White.
Well, my option is red wine because it's good for your heart.
We
There's actually
know. And we
you know.
see the difference.
Red wine for me, please, baby. I'm a red wine girly, right? Moscato for the win. And that's funny. I have a strawberry. Is it Moscato
Okay,
or is
what
it?
type of what's Moscato? Like red wine? Is that
It is. I
red
think
wine?
the one that I'm drinking is the Is it the Moscato? It's the strawberry Moscato.
Oh
I
no,
think that's what I'm drinking.
Moscato. She's talking about what the white Moscato.
Oh,
Yeah.
she said red too dry. I
Yes, that's
don't
what I'm
mind.
saying. You have to get.
I'm more so a sweet wet wine, red wine person, but it has to be sweet, like not no dry, bland sweet. And you telling
Yeah.
me it's sweet. No, it needs to be candy sweet. That's the type of sweet I am. Like I need sweet or some hint of sweet. I don't like the bitterness, the dry bitterness after. If not, I'll choose white. But I tend to always get both, but I prefer red wine because I feel like it has more. I don't want to say nutrients, but there's always pros and cons to whatever you do.
Well, I feel like the red wine you drink may not be that healthy. The healthy red wine is probably the drier red wine.
Let me tell
If
you
we're gonna
something.
be honest,
It
you're
looks
drinking the one
red.
that has a
It
bunch of
is
extra
red.
sugars.
I'ma drink it.
The eyes closing. What's the percentage of alcohol in that wine?
No, mine.
Your eyes were closing.
Girl, my eyes is open.
Oh, they're open now.
No, anytime I wear lashes, okay, so fun fact, anytime I wear lashes, my eyes go chinky, like my eyes go very small. I have an almond shaped eye. So when I'm talking, if I don't open my eyes, you can't see my eyes. They always look my eyes
they were
alone.
all the way closed. I said,
Yeah, when I wear lashes, when I smile, my eyes go chinky.
No, I ain't talking about that, honey.
You thought it was a lot.
They
Yeah, anytime I wear lashes, that always
your
happens.
lashes do that because the last live.
Yeah, I look like my eyes.
Over.
Anytime I wear lashes, at any time, and I've worn like the 3D, 4D lashes. If I turn to the side, my lashes are very long.
Yeah, because you wear the flyaway lashes.
Right.
Yeah.
Baby,
So
we can what? Okay, so because of that, it does create like my eyes. Man, my eyes look like they're low or no. That my eyes are very much. They just get almond shaped.
I see. But yeah, with red, okay, I know we gotta hop off, but like with red, you have to be very particular because most of red wines I feel like are dry and bitter, which is why a lot of people sometimes just get the white wine because
right. The cheaper wines is always the sweet one that mess you up quick.
Yeah. Other than that, I do like red. It just gotta be extra sweet.
White wine though, if I drink like half of the bottle or just sipping and talking and chit chat, it tends to make me kind of like whoa, like it catch up to me easier.
You had you feeling nice.
I don't know why, but it does.
That got you feeling nice too. I can see.
Girl, this ain't nothing.
Anyway, when people in denial, you can't trust them. That's when it starts.
I don't feel, we sound like an alcoholic.
I don't feel anything. What are you talking about?
I'm not an alcoholic though. Wait a minute.
That don't mean you're an alcoholic. You just feel nice. You just feel nice, and that's okay.
I don't feel nice because I don't feel nothing.
Okay.
I could have just been drinking grape juice and it would have been the same thing.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that is our questions for this week. We done got into wine and all this. I actually would love to go to a wine tasting. I really want to do that too.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that when we
were supposed to do it in Atlanta. Never did it. Darn.
I wonder if there's any wine tastings near me.
I was looking into that this week. I think so. I know there's one in.
I think there's wine tasting near everybody. You just gotta do it.
Just gotta find it. But yeah, I do actually want to go to wine tasting so that way I can kind of learn about the classes and learn about the different tastes and
yes, and Cooper's Hawk. I just thought about them too. Cooper's Hawk, they definitely do.
But yeah, that's it for tonight, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming in. We appreciate y'all. And once again, this video will be up on our Live and Unfiltered page, but it'll be clips of it. And to watch the full video, it'll be on YouTube later this week. Thank y'all so much for coming in. And we'll be back again next Tuesday. We'll see y'all.
Good night.
Bye.